Hello everybody, my name is Khaled Siddiqui. In this video I'm going to do a unbiased review of Canon's new VIXIA HF-W10 camera. This is supposed to be a waterproof or water resistant, I should say, camera, and I'm going to do a complete review and guide on how to use it and everything. So let's see what they have to offer. The camera I purchased from Amazon, so it came just like this. I opened it to check it out, but I repacked it so I could show you what is included. The manual is included, and the print is very fine, so you need good glasses to read it, or else you're gonna need to use the online manual, the PDF format, which you can download from Canon's website. And this is a quick maintenance guide and a quick reference guide and everything. Alright, so basically that's what it is. Okay, let's see what we have here. So the camera includes an AC adapter, but the AC adapter doesn't fit the camera. That's something I didn't like. So what you have to do, they give you an adapter. This is included. So you have to plug into the adapter, and then the power supply plugs into a micro USB port, which is extremely fragile. So I didn't like that idea. It also includes a micro USB cable, which allows you to connect it to your computer and sync it. And it includes a couple of carbon noise filters, which goes to the power cord or video cord, any cord. This is something that filters out the noise. So it snaps open and snaps back, closes, so you could have that capability if you wanted to. Usually people use it. Now this one doesn't fit. Let me see which cable goes through this. There. So you would be using it like that. Gives you some kind of a power line noise filter. Okay. Let's see what else we have here. And we have the actual camera. And that's about it. Nothing else is included. There's a hand strap like this, which you hold. And here is your record and record stop and stop button. Okay, now let's see what we have in this camera. The camera has a nice little grip. The weight is very good. I mean, it's not a very heavy camera. Let me see how much the camera weighs. Let's turn this puppy on and see how much this camera weighs. Okay, so it's in grams. The camera weighs nearly exactly 300 grams, and that includes the battery, which is internal. That's another flaw about this camera. It does not have a removable battery that you could purchase or replace. The battery is completely internal, and this door that opens is actually to open the ports. Let me remove this. It's actually to have access to your SD card, to your HDMI output, to your micro USB, and to your audio video cable. Okay, this is a rubber sealer. So when you close this like this, when you close it and then slide it like that, you basically watertight this. You sealed it so the water doesn't go through. Now right here, there's supposed to be an HDMI output for the models that are not waterproof. So they kind of sealed it here, but because this one is waterproof, but the sealing wasn't very, very professionally, because there's a little like a grip here, which gives you an impression to open it. And when I opened the grip, it actually came off. So there is your water leak. It could have water leak through this, because they simply glued a little piece of plastic there to cover up a port that used to be here, or maybe a port that is designed for some versions of this camera to have some kind of a connector there, and they just glued a little piece of plastic there, which the glue is supposed to be waterproof. Okay, so I wasn't too impressed with that, because this should be sealed, or if they want to put something, they should put a note not to open it, because there is a nail grip here that gives you the impression that this door opens, and that's why I opened it. I wasn't too impressed on that. Other than that, the camera is waterproof up to 5 meters or 16.4 feet, and shockproof 1.5 meter 4.9 feet. That I believe that they are trying to say that if you drop it from 1.5 meter or 4.9 feet, it's shockproof. But I would never dare to try that, nor would I try to take it down the 5 meters down the swimming pool or anything. Now remember, when they say a camera is waterproof, they're talking about fresh water. They're not talking about chlorine water. They're not talking about salt water, which is in the ocean, because salt water could always damage your camera, regardless if it is or it's not waterproof, because it could get to any little cracks and openings and destroy and damage your camera. Now this did come with a lens cover, although the lens cover is not included in some cameras. You have a flip on flip off lens cover. This one is not like that. It has a separate lens cover. Let me show you the lens cover. It's one of these guys. So it has a little strap. It has a little strap which you could, you know, basically do like this, and there you have a lens cover. I wasn't too impressed with the lens cover, because I rather have a lens cover that's flip on flip off, and most Canons that's what it is. Maybe the reason they did it like this because this whole thing is waterproof, so they couldn't have that flip on flip off type of lens cover. But anyway, so that's the lens cover, and let me open the screen and show you how you set it up. Okay, so this is how you use the camera. When you open it up, the camera powers on. So basically the opening function is the power on function as well. The camera is very, very simple. There is no like buttons on this side or anything. It's just one zoom button on the top, and then start and stop button right here, record start and stop button, and that's it. No other buttons. I don't see any buttons. I see a microphone opening here. Now I don't know how this microphone opening or the microphone holes or grill is possible to function when the camera is waterproof. So they must have some kind of film that sound could go through, water can't go through. Alright, so let's see what the camera is all about. I'm going to zoom in my recording camera so I could show you this and tell you what it is all about. So let me hold on a second. Let me put the lens cover so it doesn't give you a, so it could give you a dark background. I put the lens cover so it doesn't give show the picture of my keyboard there. Okay, so these are the functionalities. You go to menu. In menu you have the following functionality. You have record settings, you have setup, you have connection settings. So if you go to record settings, you have attach priority automatic focus, which, you know, like if you're on the screen and you like an object, let's say a tree, and you would like the camera to focus on that, so you touch the screen in the area where that tree is and the focus will go in there. So basically this is what that is. So you could have that off. You could have color tracking, like a certain color. You could have face tracking, meaning that the focus, priority of focus will be on the person's face, on subject's face. So if you have a person in front of the camera and that person is moving forward and backwards, the camera will automatically focus to their face, depending on how they're moving. Okay, and this one is obviously area select. You can select an area where you want it to focus. Okay, so all this was about automatic focus settings. Let's go back to menu. Okay, by the way, when I was in the menu and I was in the settings, I shouldn't have hit X. I should have hit return to take me one step to the previous level, so to here. Anyways, so this is the information. It tells you how much battery you have left and it tells you how much recording time you have on the internal memory. Now, internal memory is not too big. I believe it's 8 gigabyte if I'm not mistaken. But you could have a SD card for as much as you want, as far as like 128 gig or anything you want. Okay, so let's go back to the menu. Now, setup, this is important. Here, this is where you set up the date and time. That's very simple. Date, area setting, date and time setting. You know, choose like the month. Right now is September is chosen. This is how you go up and down. It is September, so I'm not going to change that. And then you go here, and it's 29th today, but you can go up and down like that. And this is how you change the year, up and down, and so on. So I'm not going to change anything. I'll go back because everything is correct. And then we have area setting. Area setting tells you where you're at. So we are in California. It has already been chosen, but you could switch this back and forth and choose a different time. Right now that's Alaska, so I'm not going to change it to Alaska, and I'm going to return to the previous menu. Okay, so distance settings. Okay, so no, that was daylight saving. What am I saying? Daylight savings time. So you could have the daylight savings time on and off. You know, the daylight saving applies in all the states except for Arizona. In Arizona, they do not change their clocks. Okay, so I go back. That was the date and time step. Now, date display style. How you like your date to be displayed? Would you like it to be month, day, year, or you would like to be year, month, day, or you would like to be year, day, month, year, and then we want it to be 12-hour time or 24-hour time. You know, in the military, you have like after 12 it's p.m. 12 noon, it will be 13, 14, 15, all that. So you could change that to that if you want. That's the 24-hour time, but that's the standard, the one we use. So anyway, so I'm not going to change that. I go back, display time, language. Obviously, that's a no-brainer. You just choose your language. You scroll like this and choose the language of your choice. And if you scroll down, you have monitor brightness, which you can choose. You click here, and you have automatic, or you have brightness setting number 4, and you choose different brightness settings. But I like the monitor brightness to be automatic. See, right now it went a little dark because I chose 2, but I don't want that. I want the auto. The auto is good because based on the ambient light, it will adjust the monitor brightness accordingly. Auto power off is off. Basically, if you don't leave it off, if you click here and you turn it on, the unit will turn off after a certain amount of time. If you turn it on, okay. If you turn it on, then it doesn't give you the option to choose after how many minutes. So that's the reason I have it off. Touchscreen adjust. Now this is like more like calibration. It should be touchscreen calibration. Instead of saying touchscreen adjust, it should be renamed touchscreen calibration. So what it is you click here, and then you click here, and here, in the center, and the calibration has been completed. Okay, recording media for video and recording media for image. You could cherry pick and select whether you want your recordings to go on the internal memory or if you want it to go on the SD card. Now, in my case, I didn't insert an SD card, so both options are internal memory, but you could change that. Now, format built-in memory. If I did have an SD card, I could choose, that or that. But since I don't, I have to choose the internal memory. And this one is to format the internal memory. To format it, you just go to format. Let's see, file plus management. Let's do the file plus management. Yes. Okay. All right, let's go back to menu and go to the setup. All right, so where were we at? Go back. Okay, auto power off, touchscreen adjust, we did that. Format internal memory, we did. Format SD card, we could do that. Factory reset the whole camera back to the factory original settings. Firmware update you can do. Now, in order to do a firmware update, you have to be connected to the internet either via USB or Wi-Fi in order to do that. Open source licenses. This is talking about the software that's in the camera, and most of these software are open source. They don't belong to a particular corporation, you know. So that's what they're saying. Okay, connection settings. Now this is display on TV. If you want it on and off. So display on TV, video out type. If you want it 16:9 or 4.3, you know the 16:9 is like the HD, like long, like CinemaScope, I should say, and the 4.3 is the old kind. If your TV is old, you choose that one. But 16:9 is recommended. HDMI output, you could choose HDMI output to be automatic, or you could choose it to be 480p. Automatic is much better because it goes to 1080p. Okay, so let's go down. HDMI control is on. Now, what's the difference between HDMI output and control? HDMI control allows you to play, rewind, and all the good stuff through the HDMI cable. So that's if you leave the control on, it will allow your smart device or smart TV or anything with HDMI control to be able to control your camera as far as playback, rewind, and all that, or pause. Okay, so that was connection. Let's see, output. Okay, that covered everything. So basically, and this one is simply to do a silent mode if you want to turn off the sound of operation sound, like when you record, when you press the record and unpress record, if you don't want the sound to beep like this. See, let me go back. So when I press record, you heard that beep. Okay, if you don't want that feedback, that sound, that's where you disable it. You disable it right here, right there, and then you don't get the sound. And all these are self-explanatory. LCD darkened and sound off if you want, or you could say off completely altogether. And that's about it. And when you talk, you get the sound levels there. And basically, this is mode if you want to do a camera for photography, or if you click here, let me go there, for videography. So basically, it could become a still camera or a video camera based on that. This right here, WT, is manual zoom, which you could do, like wide angle and telephoto. Okay, so that's that. And let's see what else did we miss. And let's see what D is. Okay, now display off and display lock. Let's see if I do a display lock. Okay, so let me find out what this is. Okay, the letter D changes the display from full to simple. So when you have the little key in there appears, the display is full. Every information on display appears. When you click it again, the simple form comes, and then some information will disappear. As you just noticed, they disappeared. This wasn't disclosed in the owner's manual, unfortunately, so I had to look it up online to give you accurate description of what that means. And right here, as you can see, is intelligent auto or manual. If you choose manual, then you are responsible to choose everything yourself. What does that mean? You will get to pick up your white balance, your shutter speed, and everything. So I recommend that you do the intelligent auto, because the camera will do much better job doing the selections for you. Now, if you're a professional, obviously you're not going to be using this camera. This is a beginner level camera. But if you're a semi-professional and you want to do it manually, then you go ahead and choose manual setup. And then in manual setup, let me show you what happens now. Now when you go to menu, you have all kinds of extra settings. Let's see where there. Like all these settings that wasn't available before. Self timer, photo insert recording, shutter mode, system select, mic, zoom mic level, and all that. Okay, now let's see how many of those we have available if we don't choose manual and we choose intelligent auto. So this way we could see the difference, if it's even worth it. Okay, so if we have intelligent auto and we go to setup, let's go to recording settings, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 items. Okay, and then we have self timer, we still have that. We have the recording effects, we have the shutter mode, zoom mic, zoom mic. This is for distance recording, by the way. Mic level setting, screen lock, LCD, and that's it. Okay, so all these you could change from the settings. Let's go close that. Now, one thing I noticed with this camera, the touch screen is not so responsive. It's kind of laggy. It's not very accurate and I should say sharp and high resolution touchscreen like you would see on an iPhone or something. It's kind of laggy. It's not too impressive, I should say. So anyways, you do have the record and the play buttons on the screen. Other than the physical buttons, if you hit play, you will be given the list of all the recordings. I don't have any recordings except this dark screen recording which I just did. And then from here you could delete the recording if you wanted to. You could say erase all, or whichever one you want to delete. Select all, quit, and all that. So yes, go back to recording. So this is play, and then you click this again to go back to recording. So it's a pretty decent camera for the price, because this unit was no more than $250 or something. So for that price you can't complain, but it's just too simple for me. I wasn't too impressed, because it's simply I want more bells and whistles in a professional camera. So it's not for me. But if you're a low budget person and you need a decent high HD camera, this is a good camera to use as an alternative to other cameras. So anyways, I hope this review was informative and educational. If you have any questions or comments, please comment down below, and please don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.